One of the predicaments that the UDA government is facing is trust deficit. For the 2 years that they have been in government, Kenyans have scrutinized, listened, and witnessed their activities, and they have concluded on one accord that William Ruto, together with the entire UDA, Kenya Kwanza government, is never honest because they have promised, in fact, dating back to the days when they were campaigning, they were elected on a platform of very huge promises, tutatenga, tutatenda. And after assuming power, they have continued with the promises. Now, promising is not bad. However, they always say that promises are dead. When you promise electorate something, please try to implement them. Even if you do a quarter of it, then you get back to people and tell them, this is the much I have done. These are the challenges that I'm facing on trying to implement them. Now, it is not only Ruto that is suffering, but the entire, even if you listen to the ministers, PSS, people don't trust them, especially those who are very close to William Samoei Ruto. Now, there was an issue that required the explanation of the new sports CS Murkomen. So he was invited to the parliamentary committee, parliamentary committee on sports, and the parliamentary committee wanted Murkomen to come up with a plan and specific dates to explain this is what we have done, this is the preparation on this and this. When Murkomen took off the platform, he perpetuated the usual lies, just talking and just wanting to get away with it the same way they have done. So they listened to Murkomen, but they decided that they will no longer massage anybody from the UDA government. And Catherine Omani, who is the Busia woman rep, very controversial, a very truthful woman, confronted Murkomen. And she told Murkomen, you are talking too much. I don't even understand you. We expected that you would come here with specific dates and specific things that you have done. But what we're saying is just, yapping and we don't know what you're talking about.
Catherine, running a government is not an easy thing, especially when it comes to money. You need to be, and this is money. This is not about anything else, it's about money. And as a country, we have to adopt mechanisms that can give us greater value at once. You have 7 acres. You have other government programs that you want to implement. You can construct a sports academy alone for 50 million. But you can add a social hall, indoor arena for playing maybe boxing and table tennis and other issues in the same place. It is worth waiting for another 2 weeks to have this value at once and maximize the resource that is there at once than to hurry up and have white elephants in the country. It's better when it's something good, and I don't think I'm speaking a language that is strange. This language is of truth.
I just want you to know that anyone who is working in this government and comes here, gives us promises, and deep down their hearts, they know they are lying or buying time. Being a new person in this office, I think we should go with what the PS said and the CEO, or we will impeach them, because we cannot sit here. We go to our villages very excited with all the chiefs and village elders clapping for us. Me being a new member of parliament, how do I go back to the people and say, the new CS came in with the new terms? Because that is what I'm seeing. It is very unfortunate that we are still discussing about this. I thought we were going to be told from this date and this date, things are rolling out. Not cancellations, postponement, new discussions. It's sitting bad. Even as you sit there, I was telling my colleague, the CS is talking too much. Because already I'm seeing it is not progressive. We are now on pause. And yet we had kid play. We were so excited, all of us here. So I don't know what exactly you've been saying. Maybe I'm not understanding because I just blocked. From listening, I blocked my mind. Can somebody talk a language I understand here? Mambo iko karibu kuharibika hapa.
Mr. Chair, I want to assure Honorable.
This has always been the common narrative. Even in church, they would quote wrong Bible verses, and they don't care. In fact, they know how to get away with the moment. Free gas, free diapers, everything would be free. You remember we were told that the UDA government would not increase taxes. Today, this government has increased taxes to the levels that have never been seen before. We will never take loans. We were told that when you realize that you are in a hole, you stop digging. And they really accused Uhuru Kenyatta of overburdening Kenyans by taking loans. Today, within the 2 years that William Ruto has been in power, compared to the 10 years that Uhuru has been in power, William Ruto has even borrowed more. He keeps on borrowing. And this is the reason why people don't trust this government anymore. The ministers and all the other people who are working around William Ruto have also adopted this way of facing a crowd, facing a committee, and you just look for something to tell them to get away with it. If you remember, before Gen Zs went to the streets, one of the very ministers that they wanted out of that docket when he was in transport was Murkomen. Murkomen, by the way, is a very sharp champ. He's a lawyer and is very smart. But it looks to me that he can never deliver as a minister. I think he should go back to lecture in the university because I don't trust his low credentials. He's a very sharp man. Even when he speaks, you would see that you see some sense. But the problem with our government is that even the most eloquent, the smartest lawyers and engineers, technocrats, whenever they get into this government, they look at the policy at the top. And I have a feeling that the policy at the top is, it is our time to eat. That is why we have a lot of corruption and wastage. And you see, when PSS and ministers realize that there isn't a problem with corruption at the top, they will perpetuate it because they know that is the order of the day. So Murkomen has adopted the way they do things. Promise people, keep on promising. To Metenga, we have done this. You know that William Ruto has really launched very many projects. And if you follow Morara Kibasu, he was really doing a good job. I don't know whether he still continues with it, but he started well. He was exposing the places where William Ruto had gone, launched projects. Anytime William Ruto goes to a place, there's a lot of money. He travels with medics. William Ruto travels with, there's a lot of security. There's a lot of money. The vehicles that he goes with, the convoy, the people who accompany him. There's a lot of money that is being used, taxpayers' money. And when you come to imagine that he wastes all that money, launches a project, and the project does not take off. If it is a hospital, that foundation is laid, and you go there 6 months down the line, there are shrubs that are sprouting around, nothing has been done, yet money has been lost. And this is the order of the day. Someone was telling me that we should not blame William Ruto because when he was campaigning, he never campaigned on a platform of they will fight corruption. In fact, their main word about corruption was that corruption will not be used, will not be weaponized against those who don't read or those who read from a different script as the powers that be. And so when you see Murkomen behaving this way, when you see other ministers promising things that are not there, defending, then you know that they're only but emulating what is being done at the top. Do you remember the choreographed headlines about our leaking airport? We were made to believe that our airport was pathetic. Little did we know that we were being prepared for Adani, because after that we were told that Adani realized that our airport needed expansion, and so there was this private initiative. An investor can come and initiate suggesting to you what they need to do, and so they came after watching news, after watching videos of our leaking airport, that they could help us expand our airport and facilitate it. All this was happening because it was choreographed. We were being prepared psychologically. So when you see Murkomen talk this way, it is something that is like a policy in the government. But we thank God for brave men and women in this country who have decided that they will not massage, they will tell the truth. We have seen this, people like now Omanyo, we have Kisi Senator Richard Onyonka. At some point, Sifuna was lethal until he was summoned by ODM, and I think he was told go slow. And they have been doing a good job. Okia Omutata. We have seen pastors who face William Ruto, and I love the way they do it. I remember that pastor who was saying, quit thieving and use your money to help the poor. He was asking, do we have any thieves around? Even the pastors try to check the government. It is our civic duty to ensure that we check the government because they are being maintained by taxpayers' money. If there is a problem that has really bedeviled and ailed our country, is that Kenyans are gullible and we allow politicians to lie to us. During campaigns, we allow them to promise without asking how will you do it. Even after knowing that these promises are empty, we still allow them to come and promise. We don't ask them, you promised this and you have not implemented, yet you are here again, promising more. That has been our problem. The day we will confront the government and ask them, before you give us another promise, please let us know the fate of the first promise that you gave us. That is how we will progress as a country. But if we allow politicians to speak, just talk, yap, explaining things that are neither here nor there, we will not progress. We will continue to stagnate because politicians believe that we are gullible. Politicians believe that we have fools in the country. And I remember William Ruto was saying that we have a deficit of fools. People know better now. They can scrutinize. But until we reach that period where we can confront our politicians and make them accountable for their words, we shall continue lamenting. And I think Catherine Omanyo stormed it well. That is the way to go. And I don't know what you think, but I think Murkomen will be careful next time.